Welcome to this episode of What's Happening in Waupaca. I am Joni Kern. I am visiting with Mitch Swenson and Jerry Tiffany from the Waupaca Area Convention and Visitors Bureau. That's a mouthful, guys.
It is.
Good morning. Glad to have you here.
Good morning, Joni.
Thank you.
We are talking today about an event that's happening later this month, which is the Pond Hockey Classic, which most of us are familiar with. And this year, for the second year, we are adding the fat tire bike race. Did I get that right?
Yeah, it's a fat bike race, is commonly known, and it's definitely a homegrown type of an event. Your typical cyclist would be very accustomed to it, but the general public may not be as familiar with a fat bike. Fat tire bike is something that has a 3.7-inch wide tire, and then of course they go up from there. But they're very much a novelty, but are turning into a mainstay in the cycling community.
For people that want to bike that miss it, especially up here where we have snow, that's a great way to get out and bicycle and get the exercise that you like to get.
Certainly.
So this is all happening later this month. The fat bike race is on the 28th. So Jerry, let's talk about that a little bit more. Now this is the second year this has been in Waupaca.
Right.
Correct? And you have a couple of different races. You have a 1 hour and a 2 hour event. What's the difference there?
Well, the biggest difference is the timing, mostly. And so what happens is everybody has a mass start. Both events actually start at the same time. And then when the 1 hour is finished, those people then are done. And then the 2 hour people have only halfway through, of course. So they'll continue for another hour.
Gotcha. So is this a lap where if I go and see somebody that I know that's biking, am I going to be able to see them go round and around, or is this just an event that starts at one place and ends somewhere else?
No, this is a lap race, and so you will start and finish on the same line. The objective is to get as many laps in within the amount of time. And so if a person is coming up to the line and it's very close to the end of their 1 hour or 2 hour time, they do have the option to go out for another lap, even though the time will go over the hour or 2 hours, to be able to put themselves ahead of somebody else who decided to maybe not do that last lap.
Gotcha. And registration is open right now for this event. So where can I go register?
Active.com is our main registration point online. And you can also just call the chamber and talk to Lynn Toll. She'll take registrations as well.
Perfect. And there's prizes. So you have to think about that.
Lots of awards.
You want to go in there and get some prizes. Now, on the same day and into the next day, the 28th and 29th, Mitch, you are doing the Pond Hockey Classic.
Yes, this will be our 5th annual, and it'll be held on Mirror Lake by South Park. And it's a beautiful setting. It's kind of a bowl-like setting down in there. The event used to be held on Shadow Lake. We had some issues with water on top of the lake, so we moved it a couple of years ago, and it worked out really good at Mirror Lake. So yeah, we have the old traditional pond hockey, as it's called, right out on a frozen lake, and
Sure.
that's kind of where that terminology comes from.
And that's a pretty popular event.
It is.
Around here. And last year you drew people from all over the state of Wisconsin to this.
That's correct. Yeah, we get teams from Baraboo, the Fox Valley, Wausau, Eau Claire area. We were down just a little bit on teams this past year, but we're really hoping to push that back up. Again, I think some of that was with some of the competing events around the state. And it's just a great time. We put a big tent up out on the ice. We have food and beverage service out there. We have heaters in the tent, so if it is cold, you can go in, warm up, get a bite to eat, cold or a hot drink. And the pond hockey, it's a 4-on-4 tournament, and each team is guaranteed 3 games, and this last year we kind of had a unique situation where it was very warm, so the snow was turning to slush, and we had 8 inches of slush on top of the ice. We actually pushed the event through in one day because we knew that the forecast for Sunday was rain, so that next day would not have been pretty out there.
I remember it was pretty warm. I mean, some years you get lucky and it's nice and cold, and then some years it's just pretty warm, but it's all in all just a terrific weekend. Again, it's the 28th and 29th for the pond hockey and the 28th. Now, I forgot to ask you, Jerry, where the bike race is at.
It is held on the soccer fields at the Waupaca High School. A couple years back, I was part of a group that put together funding for a groomer to make the walking trail with some property on the high school grounds into a community winter trail. That's now in its 3rd year. The county the equipment was given to the county so that they would maintain the trail. So it is a properly groomed cross-country ski course, 5-mile course that the race is held on. And the trailhead for that is the soccer field, practice fields on the high school property.
Wonderful. Thank you, Mitch. Thank you, Jerry, for being here. Did you have something you wanted to add?
I guess I was just going to point out, too, the goal with these 2 events is to bring people to the Waupaca area. And we always try to fill some hotel rooms. This is kind of an off season. Obviously the summer season is our big tourism season, but we try to bring some people in, spend a couple of nights here. And we work with the Wisconsin Department of Tourism with some calculations that they have out. And even last year we estimated we had an economic impact of about $30,000 from these events. And so you get a few more people, it grows, and because people come, if they stay, they might shop, they buy gas, eat, So it's kind of the part of the Convention and Visitor Bureau goal is to bring people to this community and promote Waupaca as a whole.
And I know that Waupaca is working very hard with area businesses and events to do just that, to bring people in the winter as well as the summer, because we're already pretty full up in the summertime.
Yeah.
So thank you, Mitch. Thank you, Jerry, for being here today. I appreciate your time. Again, the Pond Hockey Classic, January 28th and 29th, coming right up. Get registered, and the Fat Bike Race is on Saturday the 28th. It'll be a great weekend to be out and about and have some fun.
Exactly.
Again, this is Joni Kern. Thank you for joining us for What's Happening in Waupaca, and we'll see you next time.